So this is the continuation of our report about learning disabilities. So first, we will have a recap of learning disability types. First is the dyslexia. Dyslexia is a developmental reading disorder impacting reading ability. Next is the dyscalculia. Dyscalculia is a specific learning disorder causing insignificant mathematical difficulties. And lastly is the dysgraphia. Dysgraphia originating from the Greek word which is the impaired, and graphia is writing. Dysgraphia is a writing disorder affecting handwriting and written expression. Individuals with dysgraphia often have messy handwriting, struggles with spelling, and find it difficult to organize ideas into sentences and paragraphs. This is not due to laziness or carelessness, rather, it results from the brain's difficulties coordinating the skills needed for writing, like thinking, hand movements, spelling, and ideas organization. So these are the common characteristics of dysgraphia include the visual spatial difficulties. It includes here the slow text copying, difficulty writing within the lines and margin, trouble organizing words on the page like left to right, and lastly, the illegible handwriting with letters and words running together. Next is B, the fine motor challenges. It includes here the difficulty using scissors or coloring within lines, awkward wrist, arm, body, or paper positioning while writing, trouble holding a pencil correctly, tracing, cutting, tying shoes, doing puzzles, texting, and keyboarding. Next is C, grammatical difficulties. It includes here the improper punctuation use, run-on sentences, lack of capitalization at the beginning of sentences, overuse of commas, and inconsistent verb tenses, and writing in lists instead of complete sentences. Next is D, the handwriting difficulties. It includes here the excessive erasing, avoidance of writing, mixing of printing and cursive styles, inconsistent use of upper and lowercase letters, difficulty reading one's own handwriting, and hand fatigue or cramping while writing. And lastly, E, the spelling difficulties. It includes here the inconsistent spelling, difficulty understanding spelling rules, varying spellings of the same word, saying words correctly but spelling them incorrectly, difficulty recognizing and correcting misspelled words.
So this is the continuation of our report in learning disabilities, which is school-based program. So school-based program is to help students with learning disabilities, and school can use this as a key strategy. So content enhancement is using various techniques and strategies to make learning materials more understandable, engaging, and memorable for learners. So content enhancement has strategy, which is mnemonic strategy. So mnemonic strategy persisting problem of students with learning disability is to recall and to use the given information presented to them, either verbally or written form. So in a simple words, mnemonic is a memory aids like rhymes or acronyms. So mnemonic strategies has three types. First is keyword technique. So keyword technique, students are taught how to transform an unfamiliar word to a familiar word. In this technique, the teacher can use familiar word that sounds alike with a new word. For example, to remember the Spanish word for cat or gato, imagine a gate with cat sitting on top. The sound of gate is similar enough to gato. To create the mental link, make it easier to recall in a Spanish word, which is cat. The next is pegword technique, which is to learn associate numbers with familiar rhyming words. These rhyming words are used to stand for numbers. and also helpful for students who need to remember the order of information when there is a number association with the fact. For example, 1 bun, 2 shoe, 3 3, 4 door, 5 hive. And lastly is letter technique strategy. Can use acronyms or acrostics. So in letter technique, acronyms are new words formed from the first letter of each word that needs to be remembered. For example, Roy G. Beef. Each letter represents the color of rainbow. And for acrostics, it helps the learners to recall by creating a sentence with the first letter of the word that they need to be recalled. For example, in science class, my very education mother served us 9 pizzas is commonly used and it represents the planets in order, which is Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. So, graphic organizers. The teacher can help students to express their knowledge, concept, or ideas by using graphic organizer. These are visual aids to help students to see the classification and the relationship. So, in a simple words, graphic organizer is a visual tools to organize ideas. And the example of graphic organizer is fishbone, Venn diagram, cause and effect web, story web, and flow chart. So, note-taking strategy. It is important for the school children to learn an effective way to take down notes while the teacher is giving a lecture. Through this, the students learn to organize the information they hear and see. So, first method is the strategic note-taking. Give a note paper to the class with the cues that help the learners in organizing information and combining prior knowledge according to Hayward 2009. And for second method is the guided notes, where teachers provide specific questions or vocabulary words. The students can anticipate the information they need to write down while listening to the teacher or viewing a video about the given topic. So, after the mnemonic strategy, we have cognitive training strategy. This strategy helps exercise or train the way the brain learns. This technique is also helpful for students with learning disabilities because it teaches self-initiative and provided strategy for learning. So this technique, it helps students think and learn more effectively. So cognitive training strategy has types. First is self-instruction. So self-instruction are required to verbalize or talk aloud to themselves prior and during the time they perform the task. In a simple way, self-instruction is talking to themselves through the task. Example, a scenario is a child is learning to build a tall, stable Lego tower. So, the child talk to themselves through the process. First, I need a large base. Okay, I'll put down 4 bricks. Now, I need to make up sure they're lined up evenly. Good. Next, I'll add another layer. I should center the bricks on the layer below. Almost done. Just a few more. That is an example of self-instruction. Next is self-monitoring. It requires the students to evaluate and record behaviors. For example, while building, the child regularly check their work. Is the tower balanced? It seems okay so far. So if she noticed a problem, they stop to make adjustment before continuing. And for scaffolded instruction, it's suggested that students will learn better if there is an adult assistance, wherein the teacher assists guide the students to master a learning goal. So, scaffolded instruction, it is gradually building independence. This type of strategy is effective if you let the child do it first and assist them if he or she can't do it. So, reciprocal teaching is to address the problem of some learners who have difficulty in decoding and comprehending that presented to them. So reciprocal teaching is that students take turns being the teacher. So after the two strategies, we have last strategy, which is direct instruction. So direct instruction is a clear, direct, and specific teaching wherein the teacher can help the learners to link between knowledge and application. So direct instruction is a teaching method focuses on explicitly teaching a specific skill or concept. It is also a structured where teacher-centered approach where the teacher clearly represents information and guides students through practice. But sometimes it criticized for being overly teacher driven. It remains highly effective for teaching fundamental skills and knowledge, especially for younger learners or when you're introducing new concepts. So, for other practical techniques, these are the issues. First is focus issues. So, letter A is remove the unnecessary materials on top of the desk. So, it means that remove distractions like extra stuff on desk or the board. Next is letter B. The blackboard should be free from irrelevant information. Letter C is stand close to the child during lectures. And letter D is separate the child from other students who may be distracting. So, and that is just stay near them during lessons and sit them away from disruptive students. And for memory issues, we have plenty, but I will summarize it. So, memory issue is more on teach slowly and clearly, use props and real example, and give short tasks that get longer over time, and highlight the key points, and also let them ask questions and use tools like dictionaries. And for text inconsistency, I also summarize it because it's plenty. So this issue is more on allow extra time and use type written test, and also give feedback quickly. Allow extensions on homework and also accept different ways of showing understandings like videos, demos, and etc. And lastly, the handwriting issue or poor handwriting. This is more on show good handwriting example and reduce written works and allow oral answers, and use special paper or tool, and practice hand skills, which is using scissors or clay, and also let them use a computer or audio recording. That's all. Thank you.